All right, so get this. Today, we're going to do a deep dive into a financial challenge that sounds pretty impossible, saving 70% of your income.
Yeah.
70%, I know what you're thinking. Is that even realistic?
Right.
But stick with us. We're going to go beyond the usual budget and save advice to explore how real people are actually hitting that 70% savings rate.
Yeah, it's a fascinating topic.
Yeah,
It really forces us to rethink our relationship with money and what's actually possible.
totally.
We're going to uncover some surprisingly achievable strategies from people who have actually made this shift in their finances.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to talk about this because it's not all just theory. We're
Yeah.
really looking at what people have actually done.
Absolutely.
So get ready to hear about house hacking adventures that'll make you rethink where you're living,
Right.
clever transportation tricks,
hmm
and like a whole new mindset about literally turning dollars into time.
Yeah, and one of the most intriguing concepts I think we're going to dive into is the idea of a savings rate. It's not just about stuffing cash under your mattress.
Right.
It's about understanding what percentage of your income is actually working towards your future.
So we're talking about traditional savings accounts, sure, but also investments and even paying down debt, right?
Exactly. Every dollar you put towards investments or paying off those student loans is contributing to your savings rate.
Okay.
And the higher that rate,
Yeah.
the faster you build financial security and ultimately freedom.
Okay. I'll admit the idea of jumping straight to saving 70% right off the bat
Yeah.
feels kind of like trying to run a marathon without any training.
Right.
It's intimidating.
Yeah,
Is there a more approachable way to think about this?
absolutely.
Okay.
Think of it like this. Instead of trying to make a huge change overnight, aim to get 1% better each month.
1%.
Small, consistent improvements are way more sustainable
Okay.
than huge, unsustainable changes.
So it's kind of like compound interest for your habit.
Ex-
Instead of overwhelming myself, I could focus on packing lunch twice a week this month and then maybe canceling that streaming subscription I barely use next month.
That's the idea.
Okay.
If you consistently increase your savings rate by 1% each month, by the end of the year, you've boosted it by 12%.
Wow.
That's a huge accomplishment and sets you up for long-term financial success.
All right, so let's get into like the nitty-gritty of where those savings actually come from.
Yeah.
We got to tackle the big three: housing, transportation, and food.
Yeah.
And let's be real, housing is often like the biggest expense
Oh, yeah.
that eats away at our income.
It's true. Housing costs can make or break your savings goals.
Yeah.
But what's fascinating is how many creative solutions exist beyond the traditional rent or buy dilemma.
Okay, I've heard this term house hacking thrown around a lot.
Yeah.
Is that just something for tech millionaires in Silicon Valley, or can regular people actually do it?
House hacking is way more accessible than people think.
Okay.
It's really about thinking creatively to reduce or even eliminate your housing costs. We found people renting out rooms on Airbnb, downsizing to smaller places,
Yeah.
or even taking advantage of employer-provided housing.
You know what I actually read about a couple who became resident advisors in their college dorm to get free housing while they were students?
Absolutely.
That's pretty brilliant.
Exactly. And when you think about it, if you're not spending a huge chunk of your income on rent or mortgage, that money can go to your savings and investments.
Right.
That impact on your savings rate is massive.
Okay, so if we've managed to conquer like the Mount Everest of housing costs, what's next?
Transportation.
Okay, transportation.
Another area where we often fall prey to societal pressures
Oh,
and
yeah.
spend more than we need to.
You're telling me we are bombarded with ads for shiny new cars.
Yeah.
Could there be a smarter way to approach our four-wheeled friends?
Absolutely.
Or that guy?
Opting for a used, reliable car instead of the newest model
Okay,
can save you a small fortune.
that's a good point.
Think about it. New cars depreciate so rapidly. You're essentially losing thousands of dollars the moment you drive it off the lot.
It's funny how we're conditioned to think newer is always better, but when you consider the cost,
Yeah.
used cars start to look a lot more appealing.
Exactly. It's about prioritizing value and long-term financial health.
Totally.
And let's not forget, for some people, going car-free is a viable option.
All right.
Think of the savings on gas insurance, parking maintenance.
I know it's not feasible for everyone, especially depending on where you live, but for those who can swing it, ditching the car can be a game changer for your finances.
It all comes down to finding solutions that fit your individual lifestyle.
Okay, moving on to the final member of our big expense trio, food.
Yeah.
It's so easy to overspend on takeout and restaurant meals,
Oh, tell me about it.
especially when life gets busy.
Planning is key when it comes to saving on food costs.
Okay.
Did you know that cooking at home can save you up to 75% compared to eating out?
Whoa, 75%. That's like getting a 75% raise just by changing your dinner routine.
Really puts things into perspective, doesn't it?
It does.
Instead of mindlessly grabbing takeout, imagine having a week's worth of delicious home-cooked meals all prepped and ready to go.
I'll admit meal prepping sometimes feels like a chore,
Yeah.
but you're right, the financial benefits are undeniable.
And it's not just about cooking every single meal.
Okay.
It's about being mindful of your spending habits and making conscious choices when it comes to food.
Right.
Do you really need to order takeout 3 times a week, or could you whip up something equally delicious at home?
Okay, but what about inflation?
Yeah.
It feels like everything is getting more expensive by the day,
Mm-hmm.
making it harder to save. Does that make this whole 70% savings goal even more impossible?
It's a valid concern, and it's something a lot of people are struggling with right now.
Yeah.
Well, we can't control rising costs.
Yeah.
We can control our spending habits.
So how do we combat this inflation monster while still trying to reach our savings goals?
First, it's more important than ever to be mindful of discretionary expenses
Okay.
and avoid those impulse purchases. Do you really need that new gadget, or can it wait?
I'm definitely guilty of some impulse buys, especially online.
Yeah.
It's so easy to just click add to cart.
And remember, the best way to beat inflation is to outinvest it.
Okay.
By putting your money to work in index funds,
Yeah.
real estate, or even high-yield savings accounts, you're giving it the potential to grow faster than inflation eats away at its value.
So it's not just about saving.
Right.
It's about making your money work smarter for you.
Exactly. It's a powerful combination of disciplined spending and strategic investing.
All right, let's get real for a second. Saving 70% might sound impossible if you're already living on a tight budget.
Right.
But before we throw in the towel,
Yeah.
let's make sure we're crystal clear on where our money is actually going.
Yeah.
Do you really know how you're spending every dollar?
That's where budgeting comes in. It's not about depriving yourself.
Mm.
It's about gaining awareness and control of your finances. By tracking your spending, you can identify those hidden leaks that are draining your bank account.
It's like being a financial detective.
Yeah.
I bet there are some recurring subscriptions I've totally forgotten about that could be easily cut.
Exactly. And you might be surprised how many small, mindless purchases are adding up over time. That daily latte might seem harmless, but what if you redirected that $5 a day to a savings goal?
Okay, you're making me rethink my coffee habits.
Yeah.
But what if you've already trimmed your budget and you're still struggling to save?
Then it's time to shift gears
Okay.
and explore a powerful mindset shift that can change your relationship with money,
Okay.
converting dollars into time.
Okay. This sounds intriguing. Tell me more.
It's simple, yet incredibly effective. Before making a purchase,
Mm-hmm.
calculate how many hours you need to work to earn the money for that item.
So if I make $25 an hour and I want to buy those fancy noise-canceling headphones for $250, it would take me 10 hours of work to afford them.
Exactly. Suddenly, those headphones might not seem so appealing, especially when you think about the time and effort it takes to earn that money.
It's like you're putting a price tag on your time.
Mhm.
And suddenly you're way more mindful about whether a purchase is truly worth those hours of your life.
And it can also motivate you to save and invest more. Imagine thinking, instead of buying this item, I could invest this money and essentially buy back 10 hours of my time in the future.
Wow, that's a powerful way to reframe your thinking. You're literally converting dollars into freedom.
It's about shifting your perspective from instant gratification
Yeah.
to long-term financial well-being.
Okay, so let's say I'm totally on board with this mindset shift.
Okay.
Are there any practical tips to help me avoid those impulse buys,
Mm.
especially online?
Absolutely. Here's a simple trick. Remove your saved credit card information from online stores,
Oh.
and your mobile wallet
Okay.
creates a tiny bit of friction
Okay.
that can help you resist those spur-of-the-moment purchases.
It's like putting a speed bump on the road to impulsive spending. Mm-hmm.
You're forced to pause and think before mindlessly clicking buy now.
Exactly. It's about building in safeguards to help you stay on track with your financial goals.
So far, we've tackled big expenses, explored mindful budgeting, and uncovered a powerful mindset shift. But something tells me there's another piece to this 70% savings puzzle.
Uh-huh.
Is it time to talk about the M word?
You got it.
Making more money.
Making more money is a huge part of this.
Okay.
Because even with the most disciplined saving habits,
Yeah.
there's a limit to how much you can cut.
Right?
Increasing your income can supercharge your savings rate and fast-track your journey to financial freedom.
It's like adding rocket fuel to your financial spaceship.
Exactly.
But I think a lot of people hear make more money,
Yeah,
and they immediately picture themselves working longer hours or burning out.
right.
Is that really what we're talking about here?
Not at all. It's not about trading your precious time for a few extra bucks. It's about working smarter, not harder.
I like the sound of that. There are so many creative and fulfilling ways to boost your income without sacrificing your well-being.
Okay, where do we even begin?
We'll get ready to unlock your inner entrepreneur because in our next deep dive, we're going to explore proven strategies for boosting your earning potential and reaching new heights of financial independence. It's all about maximizing your income and optimizing your savings for a future filled with freedom and choice.
I am excited to dive into the world of making more money. Stay tuned for part 2 of our deep dive, where we'll uncover the secrets to unlocking your earning potential and accelerating your journey toward financial freedom.
Welcome back.
Okay, I'm ready to dive into this secret sauce you teased.
Yeah.
Making more money.
Yes.
It feels like the missing piece of the puzzle.
It absolutely is. You see, even if you're super disciplined with your spending,
Yeah,
there's a limit to how much you can cut.
right.
Increasing your income can supercharge your savings rate and really fast-track your journey to financial freedom.
It's like adding rocket fuel to your financial spaceship.
Yeah.
Okay, but I think a lot of people here make more money
Right.
and they immediately picture themselves working longer hours
Yeah.
or burning out.
Yeah.
Is that really what we're talking about here?
Not at all. Yeah. It's not about trading your precious time for a few extra bucks.
Yeah.
It's about working smarter, not harder.
Her.
There are so many creative and fulfilling ways to boost your income without sacrificing your well-being.
Okay, I like the sound of that. Where do we even begin?
Well, let's start with something many of us have. Unused items gathering dust in our homes. Remember that old saying, one person's trash is another person's treasure?
Oh, you mean selling stuff online or at consignment shops? I've definitely done that before, but I never thought of it as like a way to boost my income.
It can be surprisingly lucrative. Plus, it's a win-win. You declutter your space and pad your wallet.
Yeah.
And that extra cash can go straight to your savings or investments, fueling your financial goals.
That's a great point. It's like turning your clutter into a mini investment portfolio.
Exactly. It's about making your assets work for you. And speaking of assets, let's talk about the sharing economy.
Okay, now we're getting into some interesting territory. What exactly is the sharing economy and how can it help us make more money?
The sharing economy is all about leveraging what you already own to earn extra income. Think renting out your car on Turo when you're not using it, or listing your spare room on Airbnb. It's like turning your possessions into mini businesses.
So instead of letting my car sit idle in the garage, I could be earning passive income from it. That's a pretty cool concept. I've used Airbnb before as a traveler, but I never thought about it from the host's perspective.
It's definitely worth exploring.
Yeah.
And beyond cars and spare rooms, you can even share your skills and knowledge.
Okay.
Platforms like Upwork and Fiverr connect you with people who are willing to pay for your expertise.
So if I have a knack for graphic design or writing, I could find freelance clients online and set my own rates?
Precisely.
Yeah.
The possibilities are endless.
Wow.
You can set your own hours. Choose projects that align with your interests and schedule. It's about taking control of your income and designing a work-life balance that suits you.
All right, so we've decluttered our homes, turned our possessions into money-making machines, and maybe even landed a few freelance gigs. What's next on our income-boosting adventure?
Well, let's talk about a strategy that can feel a bit intimidating, but can be incredibly rewarding. Negotiating a raise or promotion.
Ooh, yeah, that one can be a bit nerve-wracking.
Yeah,
But I know it's important to advocate for yourself and make sure you're being fairly compensated for your work.
exactly. It's not about being demanding or greedy.
Right.
It's about recognizing your worth
Yeah.
and having an open and honest conversation with your employer about your contributions and career aspirations.
So how do we go about having that conversation without feeling like we're begging for scraps?
The key to successful negotiation is preparation. Research industry salary benchmarks to get a sense of what you should be earning.
Okay.
Gather data on your accomplishments and contributions, and practice articulating your value proposition.
It's like going into a job interview, but you're already employed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You need to showcase your skills and demonstrate why you deserve that raise or promotion.
Okay.
Approach the conversation with confidence and a clear understanding of what you bring to the table.
And even a small raise can make a big difference in your overall savings rate over time. It all adds up.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Now let's talk about a strategy that's essential in today's rapidly evolving job market. acquiring new skills or certifications.
Yeah, I've definitely heard that continuous learning is more important than ever. But with so many options out there, it can feel overwhelming.
hmm
Where do you even start?
Well, instead of traditional degrees, which can be expensive and time-consuming, consider exploring micro-credential programs
Okay.
from sites like Coursera or edX.
Micro-credentials, those sound interesting. What are they exactly?
They're laser-focused on specific skills that are in high demand by employers,
Okay.
and they often cost a fraction of a traditional degree.
So I could upskill in areas like data analysis or digital marketing without having to go back to school for years.
Exactly. These programs are designed to be flexible and accessible,
Yeah.
allowing you to learn at your own pace and fit education into your busy life.
That's awesome. It's like giving yourself a competitive edge in the job market without breaking the bank.
Precisely. And remember, acquiring new skills doesn't always have to be directly related to your current job.
Oh, okay.
It can be about pursuing passions or exploring side hustles that bring you joy and generate extra income.
So I've always dreamed of becoming a web developer or starting a food blog. Now is the perfect time to invest in those skills.
Exactly. And the beauty of side hustles is that they offer flexibility and control.
Okay.
You can set your own hours work from anywhere and build something you're truly passionate about.
It's like creating your own mini empire.
Exactly.
And who knows, maybe that side hustle could even evolve into your main source of income, giving you the freedom to pursue your dreams full time.
That's the beauty of entrepreneurship. It's about taking risks, following your passions, and creating opportunities for yourself. Speaking of which, let's talk about a strategy that can be particularly effective for those in creative fields. Monetizing your hobbies.
Ooh, this one speaks to my heart. I love the idea of turning my passions into profit.
It's about transforming your hobbies into side hustles, or even full-fledged businesses. Whether it's writing, photography, crafting, or music, there are countless ways to share your creations with the world and generate income.
So if I'm like an avid knitter, I could sell my handmade scarves and sweaters online or at craft fairs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or if you're a talented photographer, you could sell prints online, offer photography workshops, or even license your images to stock photo websites.
It's like Etsy for everything.
The key is to identify your unique talents and find creative ways to share them with an audience who values them.
Right.
And with the power of the internet and social media, it's easier than ever to connect with potential customers and build a following.
Okay, this is making me want to dust off my old guitar. Okay, so let's say you've spent years honing your skills in a particular field. Is there a way to leverage that expertise to boost your income?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Consulting or coaching is a fantastic way to share your knowledge and experience with others.
So if I'm like a marketing whiz, I could help small businesses develop their marketing strategies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can offer your services on a freelance basis or even establish your own consulting firm.
Yeah.
The key is to identify your niche and target market.
Right.
What problems are you uniquely equipped to solve?
Yeah.
What value can you bring to your clients?
It's like becoming a business superhero.
And remember, building a successful consulting or coaching business takes time and effort.
Okay.
It's about networking, building relationships, and delivering exceptional results for your clients.
It sounds like a rewarding challenge. Now we've talked about earning active income through side hustles and consulting, but what about passive income?
Passive income, the holy grail of financial freedom. Investing in income-generating assets is a fantastic way to make your money work for you even while you sleep.
That sounds like a dream come true. What are some examples of income-generating assets?
There are many options to explore, from dividend-paying stocks and rental properties to bonds and even peer-to-peer lending platforms.
So I could buy a rental property and earn passive income from rent payments.
Exactly. Or you could invest in stocks that pay dividends, essentially receiving a portion of the company's profits.
But isn't investing risky,
Yeah,
especially for someone who's new to it all?
all investments carry some level of risk,
Right.
but the key is to choose investments that align with your risk tolerance and financial goals. It's crucial to do your research and seek guidance from qualified financial advisors
Okay.
before making any investment decisions.
So I shouldn't just throw all my money into the stock market blindly, hoping for the best.
Not a good idea. It's about building a diversified portfolio that generates passive income while minimizing risk.
This is all making me realize that there's so much more to making money than just working a 9-to-5 job.
Absolutely. We've barely scratched the surface of the income-generating possibilities out there.
Yeah.
And remember, making more money isn't just about accumulating wealth.
Right.
It's about gaining freedom and flexibility to live life on your own terms.
It's about having the resources to pursue your passions, spend time with loved ones, and create a life that aligns with your values.
Exactly. It's about taking control of your financial future and designing a life that brings you joy and fulfillment.
So we've explored a ton of strategies for boosting our earning potential. What's next on our journey to financial independence?
In our final part, we'll bring it all together
Okay.
and explore how maximizing your income and optimizing your savings can truly transform your life.
All right.
Get ready for some inspiring insights and actionable strategies
Okay.
to accelerate your journey toward a life of purpose and prosperity.
Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into achieving financial independence by saving a whopping 70% of your income. We covered a lot of ground.
We really have. From creative housing solutions and mindful budgeting to powerful mindset shifts and a whole arsenal of income-boosting strategies.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride, but now it's time to bring it all together.
Yeah, let's explore how all these individual pieces can fit together to create a life of true financial freedom.
Exactly. And I think it's important to remember that this isn't just about hoarding money.
Right.
It's about gaining the freedom and flexibility to live life on your own terms.
You hit the nail on the head. It's about having the resources to pursue your passions, spend time with loved ones, and design a life that aligns with your values.
So we've talked about tackling those big expenses like housing and transportation, adopting mindful budgeting habits, shifting our mindset to view dollars as time, and even boosting our income. But how does it all come together to help us achieve that impressive 70% savings rate?
It's all about creating a synergistic effect, where each strategy amplifies the others. Think of it like this. Let's say you've managed to significantly reduce your housing expenses through house hacking.
Ooh, I like where this is going. So I'm saving a ton of money on rent or mortgage payments each month?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, imagine redirecting that chunk of money towards savings and investments.
It's like giving my savings rate a turbo boost.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And if you combine that with increased income from a side hustle or a raise, you're supercharging your savings rate even further.
So it's like a financial snowball effect. The more strategies I implement, the faster my progress toward financial independence.
That's the power of a holistic approach. And what's truly remarkable is that it's not just about the numbers. It's about the transformative power of aligning your spending with your values.
Okay, you've piqued my curiosity. What do you mean by aligning my spending with my values?
Think about it. When you're intentional about where your money goes, you're essentially voting for the life you want to create.
So if I value experiences over material possessions, I'm more likely to spend my money on travel and adventures rather than on the latest gadgets or designer clothes.
Exactly. You're making conscious choices that reflect your priorities and create a life that is truly meaningful to you.
It's like putting your money where your heart is.
And when your spending aligns with your values, it brings a sense of purpose and fulfillment to your financial journey. It's no longer just about accumulating wealth, but about creating a life that you love.
Okay, I'm sold on the idea of financial freedom. But what does that actually look like in practice?
Well, it's important to note that financial independence doesn't necessarily mean early retirement.
I think that's a common misconception.
Yeah.
People often think it's about never working again,
Right.
but that's not really the point, is it?
Not at all. Financial independence is about having choices. It's about the freedom to work because you want to, not because you have to.
So I could choose to work part-time, pursue a passion project, or even take an extended sabbatical to travel the world without worrying about money.
Exactly. It's about having the flexibility to design a life that suits your needs and aspirations, free from the constraints of financial worry.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
But let's get practical. What are some actionable steps our listeners can take right now to start their journey toward financial independence?
The first step is simple yet powerful. Start tracking your expenses. Get a clear picture of where your money is going
Yeah.
and identify areas where you can cut back.
I know budgeting isn't the most exciting topic,
Right.
but it's essential for gaining control of your finances.
And it doesn't have to be complicated or restrictive. There are tons of apps and tools that can help you track your spending effortlessly.
And remember, even small changes can add up over time, like bringing your own lunch to work instead of eating out every day.
Exactly. Or brewing your own coffee instead of eating the drive-thru every morning.
Right.
Those small savings can add up to big results over time.
And while we're talking about practical steps, let's not forget about the power of boosting our income.
That's right. Start brainstorming a list of skills you could monetize or side hustles you could explore. Even dedicating just a few hours a week to a passion project can generate extra income and accelerate your progress towards financial independence.
And for those who are feeling a bit more ambitious, consider exploring house hacking options. Even renting out a spare room on Airbnb can make a significant difference in your monthly expenses.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And don't forget the importance of investing. Even small, consistent contributions to a retirement account or index funds can grow significantly over time thanks to the power of compound interest.
It's like planting a financial seed that will blossom into a beautiful tree of wealth down the road.
Exactly. It's about building a solid foundation for your financial future brick by brick.
Well, it's time to wrap up this deep dive into achieving financial independence. It's been an incredible journey exploring all these strategies and mindset shifts.
It really has. And I hope our listeners feel empowered to take control of their finances and create a life of freedom and abundance.
Remember, achieving financial independence is a marathon, not a sprint. It's about making conscious choices, embracing a growth mindset, and staying committed to your goals.
Oh, the rewards are immeasurable. Financial independence isn't just about money. It's about freedom, flexibility, and the ability to live a life of purpose and meaning.
So take what you've learned from this deep dive, apply it to your own life, and watch as you create a future filled with possibilities. Thanks for joining us.
It's been a pleasure.